The words are difficult today. I feel like crap. Good morning. Good time of day, everybody. Oh god, I feel like crap. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like shit. Work kicked my ass. And why ain't it resting? No. Why would I go to bed fucking now? I don't even have my day. I work overnight. No, fuck you, Proto Bear. You go to bed. Go to bed now, Proto Bear. But good morning, everybody. I always feel like crap, but last night was just the worst, one of the worst. Physically, one of the worst nights. Mentally, that was Monday night. But good morning. Just as a precaution, there is a storm near my area. I don't expect to lose power, but we might. So, just in case everything goes offline without any warning, that may be it. You got up a few hours ago? Good for you, Mr. Full-Time Uncle Pants. I don't get to be full-time Uncle Pants. I tried, but we need the storm here, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's dry and single storms in your area. But no, we're going to be playing more Goddess of Victory Nikke today. We're going to be doing the hard mode, which I've kind of already been spoiled on because nobody knows how to shut the fuck up. And nobody knows how to not post spoilers everywhere. And also because the devs leaked it by accident in a dev interview a few days ago before the thing happened. I didn't actually watch it, but I've heard so many people talk about it. Yeah, I'm tired. I really wanted to cancel today, but I'm like, no, I want to do it. I want to do Nikke. I I want to talk about stuff. I want to just rant and rave.
Goddess of Victory, Nikke.
It's not like it's going to take very long to do everything. So we'll just... I forgot this happens. So we're just going to enjoy this. We're just going to enjoy playing some Nikke today. And then after... That's not the button I wanted. Then after we're done doing the hard mode, we'll probably just talk. We'll probably just talk about the game.
You name it, I can make it for you. Come again if you need anything.
Because I think there's a lot to talk about after this event.
Hope you put it to good use.
To really get our heads wrapped around the choices they've made for this event and a lot of the other stuff that they've done. I think it's I think it needs to be discussed. Because I mentioned it last time. It does not feel like a half anniversary. It feels like a very oddly structured. Very oddly structured event. And maybe I can finally get my full head wrapped around it when we do the hard mode to really see what it's about. To really get a grip on what they were trying to do or trying to tell with this current anniversary. Because they're trying to solve a story and tell a story at the same time. Leave the support to me. Which I think is a very weird problem. It is a very strange way of telling the story right now. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm just a moron and I'm overthinking everything completely. Or maybe I'm not. Who knows? I just know that Cinderella is beautiful. And that's not to say that the game, the story isn't good. It is good when, looked at things.
Our relationship
that's one of the things it feels like. And we'll talk about it more after hard mode. We'll talk about it more after hard mode. I want to reserve a lot of that for after hard mode, just so we can really properly say it and talk without things, hashtag spoilers for I haven't done it yet technically. So I want to go into it with only the bare mindset that I have right now.
Someone who is this close to me.
Because, there are times when stories try to set things up instead of trying to just tell the story, which, it happens sometimes. Also, we'll talk about Little Mermaid's freaking advise. The fact that she advises herself and doesn't interact with the commander at all. That her entire advise is literally just her talking to herself. That is freaking terrible. Like, in all honesty, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Smudges on my glasses, I'll probably have to wipe them off in a little bit. They're driving me insane! I would love to get laser eye surgery if I didn't have the risk of losing my eyesight. I don't know why I clicked on that. I don't know why I clicked on it. What are we at so far? Darn. We're still like 70k away from being able to level up. And I say 70k to level up so we can try to get to level 400 immediately. That is the whole purpose of me not leveling up right now. Just trying to get to 400 in one level up. One level up session. Yeah, we'll talk about all of the update once we get to it. Because there's a lot to talk about. And there's good and bads with this. It's not just all bad. This isn't an all bad, everything sucks kind of story update. It's just done in a way that just really doesn't do service to what we've been given up to this point in terms of storytelling. And supposedly these are the same writers who have been writing the game since the beginning, from what little I know and have understood. So I may be talking out my ass for all I know, probably. Could be.
Ready?
But it just...
The winner is you!
It seems a very awkward placement for this event.
Ready?
And what the future holds seems quite rare and weird. And of course, I haven't done the story yet. I haven't done the main campaign. And unfortunately, that has been spoiled for me a little bit as well. That also has been a little bit spoiled for me. Not in a bad way, but I do kind of know the ending already, and I'm kind of upset that that's what they're going to try, that's what they're going with to end it. Because it's apparently something that happened already, and they're just repeating it, and it's just... I don't know. We'll talk about that when we get to that, but we're going to talk about the event today. Just nothing but the event, everything going on with it, and we'll go from there. Also, I may have to switch chairs because I'm using my normal computer chair right now. And while I love this thing, and it is much more comfortable than my other chair, it does not breathe. There is no airflow through this chair. And I'm already sweating. It also doesn't help that I can't get comfortable while sitting down. Oh yeah, there's a survey out right now. There actually is a survey already up. After we do our dailies, we'll fill out the survey real quick. Because I usually am pretty serious when I do my surveys, because it feels... Yeah. Yeah, that minigame, that was, like, even the fishing minigame was difficult. But that thing, they toned it down so quickly. I don't know why they haven't touched this minigame at all. From what I know, they haven't touched it, so it's still the same difficulty. The only thing I would suggest them doing is just toning down the spawn rate of the enemy. If the enemies spawned, you know, at the general rate that we did, or, you know, maybe a little faster than us, that'd be okay. But when they have 30 units on the field and I have 2, that is some messed up numbers, bro. It just feels weird. Like it's a cute, fun minigame. But if you're gonna put rewards behind something, don't make it difficult unless it's meant to only be used by the hardcore people. But it's a minigame for an event. It shouldn't be difficult. I don't care what people say about GG Get Good hashtag skill issues or whatever you want to call it. It's a mini game for an event. It should not be difficult to get all the rewards. If it was a permanent game mode, yes, that's understandable. But in an event that lasts, what, 14, 21 days or so? Very weird. Very weird. I don't like half my setup right now. The way I have everything set up at my desk, I don't like it. Shit, I did not mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Oh my god. But no, I don't like my setup right now. Only because of my computer. If I had gotten a bigger desk, I wouldn't care so much. But I've got a small desk. I've got my computer hanging up from a thing. It's a standing desk, so it moves. So it's attached to the desk. And it's moved as far as it can to the side without it damaging anything, so I can do stuff. And unfortunately, where's my fucking mouse? Oh, there it is. I can't see it half the time. But yeah, the main issue for me in my desk right now is just that my computer is so far to the side. And it's not really to the side. It's like the middle side. So it's in the way. So I can't push myself all the way through. I'm thinking at one point I'm probably going to take apart this... Not take apart the desk, but take apart this setup and move it to my other desk that I have where my TV is standing. And just use my old desk. And then turn that into this... Turn this desk into the TV thing again. I regret spending money to buy this and then not really using it properly, but
Class is over.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really used the standing desk part for a while. And if I put it back over on the other side, maybe I won't die of heat stroke. I say that as it's probably gonna be even hotter over there. But no, I honestly just want to change up the desk setting, my desk setup, just so I can move it, push myself all the way under my desk. Because it sucks so much. Because I can't move all the way in. When I'm trying to type, I've got to like lean back. I mean, I can lean back in my chair and, you know, talk with you guys like this. Of course, my computer chair likes to fully lean back even though I don't have it leaning back. Like I have to like sit, I have to like hold myself up so my computer chair doesn't like defaultly lean me back further. I don't know why my computer chair does it, but it does. It frustrates me. So I can like stream like this. It's just exceedingly uncomfortable. Because I like to move my feet. It's one of the main reasons why it's a pain in the ass to use this setup. Because there's like very little leg room. There's very little leg room. Like I could move in a little bit.
I am an agent of justice.
That's about as far as I can move in. And I already can't move much because my leg is hitting my PC case. So it's very uncomfortable. I did this PC setup without any real thought about how I was going to sit in it. And it was also because at one point I was like, you know what? I want a standing desk. Was the dumbest move I ever made. Not for a standing desk. Standing desks are cool. It's for the fact that I got a small standing desk. So now it's a pain in the ass. You live and learn. You live and learn. Sacrifices are made.
What a wonderful denouement.
Sacrifices are made. Choices were done. I can't argue with past me. It's a future me problem, right? Yeah. That's right, past version of me. It's a future me problem.
It's the final battle. Come on, we can do this. Wake me up when the battle is over.
It's okay. But no, I honestly just want to move it so I can redo chord setups and shit. I need to find somebody I can pay to do a proper chord setup for my PC. That's what I need to do. I need to find somebody I can pay to just set up all my chords.
The party isn't over yet,
Because
is it?
you do not want to look at the bottom of my desk. It's horrifying. The underneath my desk is a nightmare. I've done my best to make it look decent, but it is still a nightmare. I want to try to play Blueprints. The only problem is I've been watching somebody else play it. And I haven't, like, you know, watched every living thing they do. But I've watched it enough that I feel like if I tried to play it now... Blueprints. Prince. P-R-I-N-C. Google Translate, you fool. Prince. There we go. Stupid translate.
Soldier FA.
I would like to try to play that game. The only problem is because I've watched, because it's like a roguelike. It's a roguelike adventure game. I guess the easiest way to explain it. And I've watched somebody play it, and while a lot of the stuff is, you know, random chance, the puzzles and stuff kind of aren't. So, yeah. But I may try to play it later on when I don't remember much about the series, about the game. Also, Gluttony is god ugly.
How do I look?
Why you gotta be so ugly, bro?
Under the light of the kingdom,
Huh?
all shall kneel.
Did your mama ever tell you you're ugly? Because you are.
Look,
Then again, the queen... No, I would have tapped the queen. I don't know what I'm saying. I have a problem. Also, apparently, I learned something today. About gluttony, actually.
under the light of the kingdom, all
I learned something about gluttony.
return to where you belong.
And I learned the reason why you can't break the,
Should I push a little harder?
the target. It's because it's meant to not be broken.
I'm glad I was able to protect everyone.
Yeah, it's meant to not be broken. It's meant for you to constantly shoot at it. Oh, are we already on? Really? Oh shit, I thought we had one more to go. Oh, well, actually, I have to pay attention. This is the 400 version, which means it does a bunch of shit. Alright, gamer mode, activate.
How do I look? Sexy, perhaps?
Gamer mode, engaged.
Under the light of the kingdom, all shall meet.
Gamer mode activated. Critical failure. You lose. What?
Should I push a little harder?
How did I critical failure? Doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Under the light of the kingdom,
Critical failure.
return to where you belong.
All right, she's trying to reload too, which makes this moment even more perfect. This is probably the weirdest fight. Considering this is the first time we face him, so I don't know all of his gimmicks.
How do I look?
I don't know his gimmicks like I know everybody else's for the most part.
Should I push a little harder?
Currently, he doesn't seem like much, but you never know with these bosses. You never know with these kinds of bosses, right, boss?
Light of the kingdom, all
Boss McFace, boss, Bossy McFace.
return to where you belong.
We need unlimited bullets.
See it through.
Okay, apparently that did break. Ow, that hurt, bro. That hurt, bro.
Under the light of the kingdom,
I have a very bad feeling about what's to happen next.
how do I look? Sexy, perhaps?
Yes, you do, Red Hood. You do indeed. Oh, come on! That was bullshit. That was the most bullshit I've ever seen.
Enjoy the festival again.
I hate those kinds of fucking... Well, I'm done. I ain't touching that shit again. I literally hate those versions of the whatever they're called, mechanics for those. They're the most annoying. Now that we're done with that, we can move on to the event. The event that will answer all the questions that need to be answered. Everything will be answered. There will be no
My dream.
questions that need to be answered in this. They will all be resolved, and everything will move on without any worry or problem whatsoever.
Fills
Right,
me with
right,
such
chat?
joy.
Nothing but pure, complete, and utter answers.
Class is over. What do you say we go back and enjoy the festival again?
The sass is all there, and I would have no ass. Oh, there's
I'll
one.
be leaving soon. Thank you, everyone, for everything. Knowing that what's by my side is unbreakable.
Oh, there's two of them right there.
Such joy. We finally met. My dream has come true.
Where is the last one? Like, I love how I could notice them before, but since it's so bright now, I can't see them half the time. And I'm like, why? Why did you change to be super bright?
leaving soon.
It's not fair for my eyes.
Everyone, for everything. I'll be leaving
My eyes don't agree to this shit.
Thank you, everyone, for everything. We finally met.
Damn, burning, exactly.
Has come true.
Oh, it's right there, right next to the challenge. I can't believe I didn't see that.
Fills me with such joy. We finally met. My dream has come true.
Yeah, I watched a few of them in the early part, but it was just... It didn't feel...
I'll be leaving soon.
It didn't feel like Old Tales had,
Everything.
where I felt invested in searching these out.
Knowing that what's by my side is unbreakable fills me with such joy.
Like, I didn't really feel the need to try to look around and grab the bubbles and stuff that was going on. Which is sad, because Little Mermaid is an interesting character.
Fills me with such joy.
But they did her so dirty in this event. They did Little Mermaid so dirty. Yeah, for Old Tales, finding Grave when she was going through all that stuff with her and Cinderella was so cool. But this just felt hollow.
Let's keep going. Just a little bit more.
Because, again, I don't think they ever actually answered the question that many people wanted to know, which was why Siren didn't try to leave earlier. I don't think they ever answered that question.
It's happy and beautiful.
I don't think they ever answered that question. Like, why did Siren have to stay in Gluttony for so long?
Anyone who disrupts the ball.
I mean, there was talk about her needing to build a bubble tree, which, you know, to protect herself made sense, but
I need time.
after a while, it doesn't make any sense to stay there. I mean, if Gluttony was trying to absorb her stuff,
I won't stop until we reach the happy end.
then yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. But it's still not any reason for her to stay there, unless he was underground for all those 70 years. But that, again, that doesn't make any sense because she was able to send bubbles out. So yeah, her being there for so long never made any sense to me. I think it's one of those really bad writing mechanics that they did. It's one of the really bad writing styles that you write yourself into a corner.
Nice to play around with them for a bit longer.
I won't forgive anyone who disrupts the ball.
But yeah, we'll talk about it more. We'll talk about it more when we're done with the event. And of course, I'm no expert. I'm no perfect story writer. I'm a novice story writer at best. But having read books, I do have, you know, thoughts. We all have thoughts. Everybody has a thought and an opinion to give, and that's what mine are. They're thoughts and
The
opinions.
story will be rewritten into a tale that's happy and beautiful.
If you enjoyed the event, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Let's go, everyone.
I personally did not enjoy this event. Like, I had honestly always enjoyed all the events, all the main events until now.
Beauty remains improving.
Ow. I really hate.
It would have been nice to play around with them for a bit longer.
A mole gave you crust. Nice, you had my experience with Trina. I didn't get Trina in her banner, but I did a mold, and then all of a sudden I got Trina, and I'm like, oh, Tree Mom.
There are far too many things that lack beauty.
Good job.
Hmm.
I won't stop until we reach the happy ending.
It's so nice to see Grave. I just hope they can balance the story better. Cooking Mama acquired. Pretty much! That's basically what she feels like she's based off of, is Cooking Mama. And then of course Brettie's just a erotic novel infused taste tester. Sorry. Brettie's just an erotic novel taste tester.
I won't stop until
Oh,
we reach the
man.
happy ending.
Let's just see how they handle this.
I will eliminate them all.
I could not get into Food Wars for how ridiculous everything was. Like, I don't mind ridiculous over the top stuff, but that just felt so wrong on so many levels. And then I just couldn't vibe with half the characters, because the one character I liked wasn't even like a main character in it.
It lacked a certain pizzazz, but I
One of the reasons I didn't like the Love is War series, I think, or something like that.
want this to be over quickly, so I
The
can
one
get
where
to
the
Clara.
pink-haired girl was doing the dance at the ending theme song that everybody loved.
Good.
I kept thinking she was the main character, but it turns out some other character was, and I'm like, oh, well, I have no interest in this series now. It's really sad when a series is when a character from a series is so much likable that they feel like they should be the main character, only to find out they're a side character. Even worse, when you find out they have less screen time than you actually thought they did.
I will eliminate them all.
I don't remember the name of the series exactly. I think it was... Was it Kaguya-sama Love Was War, I think? I think that's what it was called.
I can go further.
I don't know. I just remember she was danced in the theme song. Or the ending theme song or something. And I kept thinking that she was like the main female and she was a side character. And I'm like, what? What? Why is super cool character the side character?
It lacked a certain pizzazz, but I'm
What's wrong with you people?
not into doing the hitting myself, though.
But we're going to talk about all the event stuff that's going on. And what we can hope to expect in the future. I forgot to do the survey. We'll do the survey after the event. That way we can get all of our thoughts and ideas. I won't deny Siren's battle pose is adorable. Because... the Tushy. They learn their lessons from a lot of the other characters.
Into a tale that's happy and beautiful.
Alright, last stage, and then we have the cutscene, supposedly, that'll happen. That may or may not annoy me to death. Meow! Don't worry, you guys can do it. Surge on!
Tell me the story of victory.
I just wanted to have her burst. There's no other purpose to that other than just seeing her burst.
How do I look now, Prince? Am I beautiful?
Yes, you're beautiful, Cinderella. After the emotional reunion, Little Mermaid took everyone to the real ocean in a bubble.
Beautiful. Is this a place you created?
Amazing.
Cinderella and Graves stare at the bubble tree.
Wow. I never thought
Oh
I'd
god, I
be
forgot she still exists.
It's certainly easier on the eyes than inside Gluttony's throat.
I forgot Maury still
Is this
exists.
all made from bubbles?
Oh, it's because of Abe that I'm capable of all this.
The past me?
Ah,
I wonder how it was made. Do you mind if I look into it?
ah. I'll tell you everything I know. Conduct as much research as you like.
Okay, that's adorable. I won't deny that part is fucking adorable.
Do you want to visit the bubble workshop? Or would you rather go back to the bubbles?
No, it's okay.
They're both so beautiful.
God damn it. Nobody cares.
Look at her. She can't even conceal her joy.
I hate you so
How
much.
could she have thought of dying inside gluttony without meeting anyone?
Because the story is written into a corner and they had no other choice but to write that
Are
bullshit
you
in there.
Jealous?
That's not it.
Uni also thinks you're jealous.
I said no. It's just... It's nice to see her happy. That's all.
This would be much better if you were a fully developed
Oh,
character that
boy.
had more backstory than you're a
I've
piece of
never heard
shit.
you speak so frankly.
Can you guys not actually hear me?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Hello?
I know how to say things like this, you know.
Okay, so it is picking up.
Of course I know.
I still don't know why the Google Translate wasn't working.
I'm right there with you, Mori. I'm glad that Siren is happy too.
Anyway, how long are you guys going to be staying here?
Until we have a chance to catch our breath, I suppose.
And how long is that?
I'd say a week at most. I contacted Mana and told her everything was resolved. But I still need to meet with her and give a full report on what we learned here. And there's also someone else I have to report to about my body.
I see.
I still feel that power up was
That's what
complete
I'll head on
bullshit.
as well.
Where will you go?
Where else, you goof? The Ark. That reminds me. I have you to thank for me not getting scrapped. Thank you, Mihara.
You heard about that?
Yes. I got a message from a certain someone. She congratulated me on the mission being a resounding success.
Jian.
You've done me a huge favor, Mihara. I'll be sure to pay you back someday.
I really want to skip
At
this
any
stuff
rate,
because I don't care about any of
Stuck in the
this.
Ark, doing whatever comes my way. But I'll find a way, somehow, to pay you back.
What the
I
fuck was the
appreciate
point
your
of this
thought,
entire
Mori.
arc for her?
But I don't think you're going to be at the Ark.
What?
Never mind. Now then, what do you say we start properly enjoying our vacation?
The fuck are you talking about?
Point. Who knows when we'll get another chance like this? We need to take it all in.
I ain't reading that shit.
We mustn't forget that beautiful places like this exist.
I suppose it's time for us to all part ways.
Mihara, Uni, thank you for everything. If there ever comes a day when you need help, I'll come running.
We should be the ones thanking you. I hope we can see each other again someday.
I'm sure we will. So long as we want to see each other. I know that. We'll meet once again. Definitely.
Yes. Let's meet again someday.
Yes.
Hey, what's the big idea? Why do you keep leaving me out of your goodbyes? It's kinda hard not to take it personally.
Good, you deserve it.
I'm leaving too. From now on, don't ever part from your friends. Live together with them, And be well. Don't foolishly try to throw your life away to save someone. Not everyone is like you. Be a little more cautious, okay?
Oh,
Don't just stand there. Say something.
where are you going?
The Ark. Where else?
Why?
What do you mean by why? It's the only place I have left to go.
Weren't you coming with me?
Please,
What?
God, no.
You said it while we were both trapped inside Gluttony. That we'd both make it out of there alive and write a happy ending together.
I hate this so much.
I remember. I just thought we were talking about getting out of that rapture.
You don't want to stay with me anymore?
What? No. Of course I want to stay with you.
I don't. I want you to be
Are
eaten
you
and killed
sure that'd
immediately.
be okay?
Oh,
You've seen for yourself how useless I am in battle.
Good.
All I'm good for is
Die.
digging holes in the ground.
it's okay.
I barely have any survival skills either.
Good.
I don't really
Die!
know anything that I'm good at.
I'm fine with that.
I don't know the first thing about what it means to travel on the surface. I'll only drag you down. Are you sure you're okay with that?
Oh,
You might be okay with it, but what about your friends?
It doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, you became one of us the moment you risked your life to save Siren.
If
Bullshit.
Cinderella is okay with it, so am I.
Grave's just too
You
adorable.
guys.
it's okay, Maury. Really.
Grapes is too adorable, apparently.
I've gotten to know you quite well. You're thoughtful, smart, brave. And you're also my friend. So I'll take your advice to heart. From now on, I won't live recklessly and put my life in jeopardy. I'll make sure my story has a happy ending.
Reaches out her hand to the person that nobody likes.
Will you stay with me?
Fuck. No, I ain't reading that shit. I'm sorry.
I will. I'd love to.
God damn it!
I'd be honored to go with you guys. Are you really sure?
No!
You're part of the team.
No, she's not!
Go together.
Fuck this shit!
Oh,
This
Thank
doesn't
you.
feel earned!
Well, that worked out quite well, Mori.
Mihara? Uni?
I told you that you wouldn't be going back to the Ark, didn't I?
She deserves
Yes,
to.
you were right.
Well,
Fuck that shit.
put her there. I don't mind shaking your hand, but I meant to ask you for your phone again.
My phone? Why?
You're not going back to the Ark, and choosing instead to travel with the Pilgrims. In other words, you're deserting the Ark. You need to get rid of anything that could be used to track your location.
You're right.
I ain't reading that stuff. I'm sorry.
Don't mention it. Take care
I'm
of
being
yourself,
petty as shit.
and make sure you're getting along with Siren out there. We'll meet again.
Yes, we will. I'm sure of it.
I hope not. I hope you get obliterated.
Well, we ought to get going as well. Before we go back to Prince, I'd like to meet up with Hansel and Gretel if possible.
And here's the thing.
oh,
Do you know where Hansel and Gretel are?
well,
What's wrong? Did something happen to them?
Here's the reveal.
If you're intent on fighting alongside Hansel and Gretel, then perhaps it might be better not to go looking for them.
What? What do you mean?
Hansel and Gretel are no longer on humanity's side.
That was... Let's get all this stuff done real quick.
Happy and beautiful.
Let's get all this stuff done real quick.
My dream has come true.
We'll talk about it when we get back to the main screen. And I'll give my honest thoughts, because we got a lot of talking to do. Where the fuck's my mouse? Here it is. I keep losing my goddamn mouse. I have too many skill things that I don't know what to use them on. So I'm gonna be honest. This entire event felt like it was, like you meant, like Logo, you mentioned before, how it was basically trying to set up for something, and the way it did it, the way it was trying to set everything up, felt so forced. It felt like they were trying to force the story and the characters and so much other stuff so quickly that none of it was able to actually properly build itself up. And that's the problem with this current story, with this current event. Rather than build up naturally, a lot of the writing glossed over everything that made all the past events really interesting. If we look at Old Tale, if we go back to each event, I can't remember all of them, so bear with me when I say this, but if we look back at the 2.0 anniversary with Old Tales, the story was telling us, you know, the gap between Red Ash and the day we finally saved Cinderella. It revealed all that information, and it was something we needed to know. The fuck is she? She's not that high up, is she? Am I blind? Hold on. I know I haven't touched you that much. There she is. But if you look at each event from the past,
Waste your time and money on me.
they weren't just trying to set up the next thing. See, the problem with this event that I have is that they were basically trying to to Marvel this shit. They were trying to Marvel everything to set things up to catapult it into the next thing, rather than telling an actual story that built up to that thing. Because if we look at all the main chapters, if you look at all the main stuff, all the main campaigns, building up to those points, and this is something somebody mentioned in their Discord talking about it before. Every event was preceded by us meeting the actual character in the main story. When the 0.5 anniversary happens for Overzone, we meet Dorothy in the story before Overzone comes out. So that you know the character, you get to see their backstory. For Red Ash, when it happens, we get to meet Red Hood in the story before we see Red Ash. Lost Kingdom, same thing. We meet Crown and we learn about Modernia's backstory. Modernia is now with Crown before Last Kingdom. Old Tales is the same way. We meet Cinderella in the story before we have Old Tales, which showcases the story in it. Told through us, through Cinderella's story, basically. And then this one we just get told. Everything happens. There is little to no setup for it. Like, it just happens. Like, you have an interesting startup with them using the AA pillar. Well, we're off doing our thing in the main story. Mana and Shifty are doing their thing. Gluttony shows up and devours the AA pillar. Interesting startup. Perfectly good startup to it. And then we come to find out that Mihara and Uni are involved. Okay. Weird way to introduce them to the story. Especially considering it doesn't honestly make much sense. And then you have this third character introduced into the story that has no ties whatsoever to anything. It is basically a Kilo situation. How Kilo was introduced in Last Kingdom. The difference being, Kilo didn't feel completely useless. The character herself was a little useless. It was mainly the robot. But the two of them worked together in tandem to build a complete character. Mori's entire arc is she's worthless. And we're just supposed to take that at face value. That is honestly terrible writing. Honestly terrible writing. And then you shoehorn her throughout the entire thing with Little Mermaid, which, again, feels very forced. We're not told why she stayed in Gluttony's throat for 70 years when she could send out bubbles. I think it's implied that she was doing it to, like, prevent him from something or other. I don't know. If somebody does know, feel free to speak up. But, like, Mori just felt like a really bad character from the very beginning. Like, there is no proper redemption arc for her character in this, even if they did redeem her. Because most of it is just Siren showed her compassion. So therefore, you know, I'm redeemed type stuff. That is a terrible way to write a character. Because Gluttony had already had a Gigamon in his throat and Siren stayed to prevent it from absorbing. That would have been it. That would have been nice. But we know for a fact that it all happened simultaneously. She got eaten and then Gluttony, you know, sped away after being eaten. Now, she was trying to build a protective barrier around herself with the bubbles, and she, you know, she exhausted herself. She didn't mention that. She exhausted her bubble powers at one point. But I don't think that would have taken 70 years to reform. I honestly think they wrote themselves into a corner with this. With the way Mudfish happens to bring in Siren's character. I honestly think they wrote themselves into a corner when they wanted to do this. It is... There are very few times when a character is trapped in something like this, in like a trap situation, that ever honestly makes any sense. And it's usually very, very bad. And this was one of those examples of a very bad scenario. Where you have supposedly someone who's exceedingly strong as Siren just stay in there for 70 years. So it didn't really make any sense. But the whole forcing us to try to relate to Mori is what really annoyed me. And oh, we're on an ad break, so we'll take a moment here so I can drink some water. If you haven't, drink some water, everybody. Stretch. Stretch, drink, catapult. I don't know, you do you. You know what? Let's me do the survey while we're doing this. Let's hit the survey while we're waiting. Where is the survey? I saw it. Did they get rid of the survey? I swear there was a survey here a second ago. Oh, the bell. I hate the way they do that shit. Alright, let me bring it over here. No, hey, get over here on this monitor. I am commanding you to move to a different monitor. There we go. Oh, okay, fine. Fuck you then. I will have to use this monitor. Okay, no, there we go. But yeah, this whole event felt... The main problem with this event is that it was advertised as Siren's event. It was advertised as Little Mermaid's story. It was advertised as Old Tales Part 2, basically, where we get to see Siren doing her thing. Instead, we got the Mori and Mihara show with guest starring Siren. That's basically what it was. It was a sitcom with Mori and Mihara as the main characters, with Uni appearing, guest starring Siren in her own anniversary event, which is downright dumb. I'm satisfied with the game. With the overall experience of Nikke, I'm satisfied. That's how I would say the new characters. Little Mermaid, extremely satisfied. I love her character. Mihara, bonding chains. I'm dissatisfied. Mori, extremely dissatisfied. Mihara, bonding chain. Other. She should have been in her own event and not used for this one, just so you could add a new overspec unit. Which is the whole reason it was. This event was literally just to add an overspec unit. That's the whole point. There was no other reason for Mihara showing up in this event to be added to it Other than putting out a new overspec unit. I am being screamed at. God damn it, why does it do that? Stop going to a different page. What aspects of Mori are you not dissatisfied with? Oh, this is going to be fun. I like how it's like the character's standing pose, the character's battle pose, the character's skill cutscenes. Yeah, I need to fix my audio. The character's not sexy enough, not enough character development and story. Oh, that's a big one. Other. Her inclusion in the event was completely forced. Yeah, you can't see the survey, unfortunately. I could probably screen capture it. But I don't want to reveal any personal information. Then again, it's a survey, and I've already... Too many sus folders. No, there's not! That's all on my one monitor with my OBS. There you go. Now you can see it. Her inclusion in the event was forced. It was completely forced. The story used completely forced. She felt forced. Her inclusion felt forced, and any development that should have gone to Siren went to her, which is true. Siren starts the series, starts this event one way, and ends the exact same way. She has no development whatsoever in this story, which sucks. What is her overall rating of the event Unbreakable Sphere? Extremely dissatisfied. The story lacks appeal. There isn't much playable content. Other. This did not feel like an anniversary. And lacked the feel and depth of the stories we have had so far. Which is true. Not satisfied. Single choice. Multiple answer. What aspects of the event? Story lacks appeal. How satisfied with the event Unbreakable Sphere? Extremely dissatisfied. The commander was hardly involved in the story. This felt like an entirely anniversary thing that we should have been involved in. This felt like one of those things that we really should have been involved in. The story is difficult to understand. I don't want a story theme. The errors in the story's localization. Other. Mori did not need to be added to this event. I also don't like the new character's design. I'm not going to be honest. Mori's design is terrible. Mihara's design is very weird, considering it's the only one that looks like that out of all the others. It's strange. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to deny sexy, but there's a point when it's sexy just feels weird. What is your overall rating of the Bubble March minigame? Extremely dissatisfied. The game is too little content. The game is repetitive, so days become boring. The game is too little special effects. The character art and animations. The sound effects were lacking. The game duration is too long. The difficulty is too fucking high. I'm satisfied with your new costumes. Little Mermaid Abyss Flower. I am neutral. That is Mihara Bonding Chain. Extremely dissatisfied. Grave, beautiful you. I'm satisfied. Cinderella, beautiful me. I'm neutral. What aspects of the costume Little Mermaid Abyss Flower are you dissatisfied with? The costume did not meet my expectations. That's basically it. It did not meet my expectations. It's a sexy costume, don't get me wrong. Definitely doesn't feel like it's worth it like Cinderella's costume or Crown's costume or even Modernia's costume. The skill cutscenes. For those who don't know, the Mihara costume alt, like skill cutscene for her alt, is a bit raunchy. For those who have seen it, you have the one scene where it looks like she's getting taken from, where she's taking some back shots, and then it goes to her face in the next scene. That's okay for a skill cutscene, you know. But the thumbnail that you get for her skill cutscene, by the way, is the backshot pose. You don't actually see anything, of course. But instead of getting that on the loading screen, you get a close-up of her face. That is not a good close. That is not a good thing. Like, that is awful. What aspects? It just didn't meet my expectations. It felt weird for a costume for her. I did not participate, so I am unsure. Would you rate the newly added Bond stories in this update? Little Mermaid. Extremely dissatisfied. Mihara, Bonding Chain. I did not participate. Mori. I didn't participate in. What aspects of the Little Mermaid's Bond story? The commander's involvement is too low, and he has no real interaction with the character. Why would you put that in a survey if you know for a fact that's what you did wrong? They literally put that in there knowing they did wrong. And there's no development. Like, I don't mind not having the Nikke fawn over us and, you know, Commander, I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I don't care about that. I just want interactions with the main character. Otherwise, it's the point of a bonding and advice session if it doesn't matter. But what is the point of putting this here? The commander's involvement is too low. And he has no real interaction with the character. Why would you put that there? That's like spelling, we knew what we were doing. Fuck you guys. How'd you rate the animation at 20 of the 2.5 anniversary stint? Extremely dissatisfied. Well, the animation and neutral. What is your main motion for increasing your squad's combat power? Progressing through the campaign. That's really all I care about. I'm also not really interested. Like, oh, wait, what? Multiple choice, but I can only select one. What the fuck? Oh. What the? Okay, I guess just going for the campaign. Single choice, please select your age. You guys don't see nothing. Never mind, you guys can still see stuff. There you go. Okay, now you guys can see stuff. The genre of games you play in the last 6 months. Some gacha games. Technically not open world. MMOs. action games. How many games have you played recently? Overwatch, Frontline, Rainbow, blah 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 blah. Where are the waves? There you are. That's it. 37 through 38. I'm currently playing that. I haven't touched it yet. Which is the following best describe your activity? I'm a veteran player, but I don't play very often. I'm a veteran player, and I play it very often. Veteran player who left the game once and returned. Play it very often. Oh, don't. I am a veteran. Play it very often. Who do you follow? None of the above. Wait. I do follow the YouTube version. What channel do you mainly acquire info from? Non-official social network. What kind of categories would you like to see in the official accounts? Content related to lore, to characters. I never really paid attention to the Bubble Memories because I didn't like the story. What you see in the community? A variety of interesting ideas around Nikke. Making content related to Nikke are classified central government documents. I don't really care about the big three, except for Mustang, who scares me. That's really about it. YouTube music compilation video. YouTube shorts videos. That's all the daily life stuff. Option 4. I don't have X. I don't have Twitter, so I don't know. I just want her to meet Maiden and chat about Kotodama. That would be fun. That's kind of like what I want to happen. Which of the following events have you participated in? Lip sync. None of the above. Have you ever purchased Nikke related merch? No, because none of them are sold cheaply enough for me to purchase. Why have you never purchased? I just want to play the game. There aren't any merchandise categories I like. Prices are too high. What kind of Nikke related merchandise would you consider purchasing? Figurines, of course. Books. Do you know about the official Nikke? Yes. How did you learn in-game push notifications? I don't use it. Where is that option? Time. Community lacks tools. It's not an app. I'm satisfied with you, blah blah. I haven't touched it. Blah blah link 2.5 anniversary community events neutral. You have any suggestion regarding... I didn't watch the VTuber concert only because I wasn't there. I don't follow a lot of their stuff, so I didn't really see some stuff. I didn't participate in the marketing survey because I forgot to do it. You have any suggestions regarding the recent events and stories? Please do better in the writing process. Just forgot what I was about to write. Not the best worded. Not the best worded. But Mihara's power up was the most bullshit thing that I had seen. That's about as good as I can get it. I'm not going to go into a whole 30 paragraph page. But yeah. So let's talk about this event. The fact that they shoehorned in that Mihara's overspec upgrade was done so fast and so bullshit that, as I said in the survey, it just literally said, oh yeah, this thing we introduced that we built up to all this time for Rappy, you know, all the trauma and so forth, we'll just let Mihara do it because she really wants to protect Uni. That's a good way to give a power up for somebody. It's like, oh, you get power up because you have the power of friendship. I do not like those types of story writings. There's a reason why I hated Fairy Tail near the end. Because every power-up was like, I have power for friends. Go, team friendship. It's terrible writing, by the way. But yeah, so Mihara getting a power-up like that felt so bad. And if what they're trying to tell us is that overspec Nikkes aren't just Nikkes that have new gear and stuff like Absolute and Matisse, because I do know they get a power up later on. Because I have been spoiled a little bit for that. If they're saying that the only way for an overspec Nikke to be recognized as an overspec is if they have 2 cores and fuse,
I will protect you.
then that really pisses me off, because what they've done with Mihara is basically just Mary Sue that it can just happen because somebody wants it to. I really wish I was using my 3D model so you could see me move my hands, because I'm speaking with my hands right now. It's really driving me nuts. And I forgot that her burst was that adorable. Uh-oh. Read in-game lore for 5 minutes. Gotta go to the outpost. But honestly, it felt terrible. It felt really bad. I don't know if I can find anything about that. I gotta go through lost relics and stuff. I got some dark matter. Dark matter is liquid metal. It is both hard and soft, or all at once, possessing the viscosity of a liquid, yet durability of metal. Dark matter contains nanomachines, which are teeny tiny robots. These machines receive signals sent by the user and manipulate the dark matter accordingly to alter its form. It's worth noting that it cannot transform into certain items, such as weapons or food. Nor can it be used to manufacture a robot that can transform or something similar. The most optimal method is to apply it directly to your body. The ideal approach would be to wield it as if holding water. But not everyone is capable of that. Only someone as brilliant as I, a true heretic, can use it in such a fashion. Thusly, I recommend you simply wear it on your body. Just be sure to notify me before it accumulates too much wear and tear. It is comprised in large part of nanomachines. Be cautious of Vaphouse. Also, just because it looks like water doesn't mean it acts like water. Avoid swimming in it or otherwise coming into contact with it. Hold up, are you even reading this? 1111. If I ask you to name a number out of the blue, answer with this. That will tell me if you've actually been reading this or not. Leviathan. Is this thing recording? Okay, yeah, it is. Since you guys never read what I wrote, I decided to leave a voice message instead. So make sure to listen. I'll really quiz you on this later. Got it? Who am I kidding? None of you will ever probably listen to this. Still, it doesn't hurt to try. This should be obvious by now, but the egg must not be subjected to any strong impacts. Given its contents aren't fully developed yet, it's exceedingly fragile. That means no touching it or horseplaying around it. Once it's ready, it will hatch of its own accord. Just leave it alone until then. You get that? Don't mess with it in any way. Don't feed it. Don't sing to it. Don't even speak to it. Even if it's something nice, just leave it be. I'm begging you. Remember that silver liquid I mentioned? If you mix that with dark matter, it turns into some kind of dissolving agent. Welcome everybody. If you mix it with dark matter, it turns into some kind of dissolving agent. Anything which is melded into it retains its original properties, so we could experiment with mixing different things together. Find things that look promising, bring it over right away, and we can see what we got. I'm guessing that silver liquid is gluttony. Based on the results we've gotten so far, I think this gets dissolved, retains every last one of its traits afterwards. There doesn't seem to be a limit to this either. I've tested materials containing up to 141 traits. Every single one carried over, of course. The effectiveness of each trait leaves much to be desired. It's like they all jam together into one conglomerate. That means the key point is being selective and focused. From now on, instead of wantonly grabbing anything we can get our hands on, we should be more discerning. Got that? Quality over quantity. Okay then. I'm a member of a burrow squad. A while back I came across some Nikkes who were called the Pilgrims. Since then I've developed an interest in them. Decided to dedicate my life to tracking them down. Not a single piece of information can be found about these mysterious Nikkes living above ground. But I will never give up. My objective is to have a conversation with one of those so-called pilgrims. The following is a report on all separate pilgrim sightings I've had thus. What would you like me to change my avatar to? I keep thinking I disabled that. What would you like to see? Since I keep forgetting to turn that off. When I was in the Ark, I heard many rumors about a white Nikke. In my wanderings, I had finally spotted her in the northern mountains. Just firing at a rapture using a rifle that was nearly as big as she was. Tried to approach her, but the raging snowstorm prevented me from getting any closer. No, it's fine. I still have the other models. I'm trying not to use it. But yeah, if you'd like to see a different model, just let me know. You redeemed it, so I will let you redeem it. First glance, it seemed that she was riding a horse, but upon closer inspection, the outline of the animal seemed to be more akin to a camel. I tried to approach her, but I was able to do so due to a sudden communications failure. That doesn't make any sense. Nope. Nope what? Nope what? It seemed like there were two Nikkes waiting together, but I couldn't get close enough to see them clearly. It appeared as though one of them was subservient to the other. When I attempted to get closer, they sped away with great haste. That must be crowning them. I saw her in a dream, so this one is shrouded in mystery. She was carrying an oversized coffin. That's grave. Now that I think about it, I don't even know if it was a Nikke or a rapture. It could even have been an illusion. When I tried to get near her, there was a burst of light and she vanished into thin air. Yeah, that was grave. Has it been 5 minutes yet? Or did you, like, redeem 3? Did you actually redeem 3 of them? Just says 1. I can't tell if you. In order to designate the coordinates, we created a supporting disc that is placed on the ground. After conducting numerous tests, we adopted it as a flat design that is easy to carry. You can adapt to various types of terrain. However, further research is necessary to embed a GPS feature. We fired test piles 3 times at the coordinates where the disc was placed. All 3 tests failed due to operator errors. Excuse me. 3 nearby researchers were injured as a result, suggesting incorporating an essential training course for operators. Moved to the surface for final testing. PBZ 188.83/desert area. Construction not possible. Reason material shortage and unit loss. Did rapture attack. SBV 85.1. Moved to a nutrient-rich forest for material procurement. Construction halted. Material shortage. SPV 85.1. Oh, we already read it. Note: confirm that organic materials alone are insufficient. Test temporarily suspended. Move back to JK 2.0. Geologic City construction. Successful materials abundant. Reconstruction signal detected near the coordinates of PBZ 188.83 from test number 30. Waiting confirmation. First phase of fisting complete. I think that's all of the lore we have right now. I think that was 5 minutes, right? Hopefully that was 5 minutes. But going back to this event, going back to the event and talking about how this felt so bad. The entire story itself Karaz, no license, gotta love it. Don't get me wrong, I love Siren. Siren's a very cool character. Like, her introduction in Old Tales was so cool. But I will agree, this entire event was the biggest letdown for a character introduction that I've seen in a long time. Not just from Nikke, but in general. It's kind of like I'm trying to think of an example recently. Wait, you've lost kneecap? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. It's basically like going to a restaurant and ordering a really good steak and ordering a steak, but instead they give you... It's like going to a restaurant and ordering a burger, but instead they hand you, they hand you a salad. You're expecting to get this really juicy burger, but instead they go, we're out of burgers, here's a salad. I can see why. That's nightmare fuel on so many levels. But, yeah, so it's like Siren in Little Mermaid is this big, juicy burger. And then they give you a salad and tell you to deal with it. Expecting a half-pound burger and getting a sausage patty. That's, yeah. Or you order a quarter pounder from McDonald's, but instead they hand you, you know, a hamburger. What? Again, the promotional stuff for this event was Little Mermaid. Everything I had seen had been for her. Everything about this event had been for our darling Little Mermaid.
Now I can recreate my old friends perfectly.
And instead, we got an event that... not only had her appear the least out of all of them, but also also not giving her any sort of development. She didn't have any development at all. She is still the same person she was when she started this event. Instead, the characters who got the most out of this event are a side character who was introduced in this event. And Mihara, who, by the way, has had 2 mind switches. Doesn't remember shit. Yet, somehow gets a power-up that, again, is so annoyingly dumb. Because it just glosses over all the stuff that Rappy had to go through just to get her power-up. Like, Rappy getting a power-up felt earned. How long does this event take? From the start of the event to where it ended, it's about a month, I think. Because they get eaten, they're in there for a little bit, and then they come out, I think, or something like that. I think it takes a few weeks for them to get out of gluttony, and then everything can trigger, so maybe another week or so. I forget exactly the time frame, but it's... From a story perspective, if Mori had been introduced to the main story beforehand, in any capacity whatsoever, I would have been okay with her inclusion. This isn't a Kilo situation where they can kind of shoehorn in a character out of nowhere. Because it also doesn't help that this was also the shortest... This was the shortest anniversary we've had. I think every anniversary we've had has had 3 parts, plus a hard mode. I could be wrong. But Mori's inclusion felt bad because they're taking this character and they're shoehorning her trauma down through us. I get it. She's worthless. She's nothing. She's the bottom of the barrel. You keep throwing that at us, but you don't give us a reason to want to root for her. Kilo and Talos earned their spot by not being useless and whiny to the end. Exactly. Kilo felt useless, but you had somebody encouraging her. Talos encouraged Kilo to keep going, along with everybody else. And then they used that momentum to have Kilo actually realize, oh wait, I can actually do this stuff. Still, Talos was helping her, like I mentioned before, but it felt natural to the story. Kilo felt like a part of it, just as Talos did, just as everybody else did. Modernia felt there. Chime felt there. Crown was actually there. All of it blended so well. The combined core was finale? I don't remember that. I don't remember Last Kingdom that well. I just remember Crown getting naked and kicking ass. But it's just, this felt like they were trying to do a Last Kingdom type storyline and have a random character come in and follow the main characters. Crown in her ultimate form, basically, she gets naked. She wears the king's garb and basically can, like, do a bunch of shit. Last Kingdom was a great event. And the cliffhanger they ended on felt earned, with Modernia literally telling Chatterbox and Indivilia and every other Rapture to leave. It left us on a cliffhanger that gave us a story. And what have they done with that in a year? Jack shit. This could have been an event that took place. They could have built up Siren so much better if they had just waited to do this part of the story until 3.0. They could have built up Siren's story, Siren's event, everything in between if they had just waited. Instead, we get 3 months of build-up to a story that doesn't feel like it even mattered. And then the cliffhanger ending for this is Hansel and Gretel aren't on humanity's side. And no cutscene. No end CG for this. It's just they're not on our side. The end. Instead, the one CG we get is of Little Mermaid standing there with bubbles around her. I can't fathom why they would do that. I can't fathom why they thought that these CGs were what they wanted, that we should be getting for this event. Let me check something real quick. Do I still have it? I do. Gallery. Let's see. Overzone. Yeah, Overzone had 17 CGs, and they all felt like they actually mattered. Overzone, then we had Red Ash. Has 24 CGs. Red Ash has 24 CGs. And they all felt like they mattered. Like every scene, you have Snow White screaming and crying. Her resolve. You have Lilith showing up being badass. Then you have Anichiro showing up in Red Ash, being majestically awesome as shit, as she just curb stomps everybody. Like, all of the CGs made sense. And then you have the scenes with Red Hood. And then she goes to face Anichiro again. And then the other CGs, like, they all felt worth it. Then let's see, we have Last Kingdom right here, where it starts off with Kilo. The first CG you get is a picture of Kilo in the suit, in Talos. And Last Kingdom has 27 CGs, mind you. 27. It won't go to the next one for some reason. Let me refresh the page real quick. There we go. You got a lot of scene. You got. They even have a CG of the fruit, of the fruit that they talk about in the game for the storyline. They have the CG with Chime's head in the box, and then Crown being dejected with that. Like, they have all this shit, And you just see a story being told through the CGs. Like, every CG felt worth it. Even when Talos versus Chatterbox. Like, all that cool shit, and Crown in her cool, badass moment. And then even Chime. Literally being a badass as shit as she's like, looks like she's about to cut down Edivilia. And then Crown running around naked. I don't remember that one, but that's hilarious. And then you see Modernia. And then you see her eyes. You see everything. Like, all of it felt right. How many CGs in this one? I don't know. We'll get to it in just a second. Let's see. Then we have Old Tales. Old Tales has 53 CGs. 53. There are 53 of them in Old Tales. No, it's not. It wouldn't load. Hold on. But also, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We were talking about the events so far in Nikke to now. And we're on Old Tales. We're just comparing the half anniversary events and how they've changed over time. Like, you have this whole event happen. And the fact that Old Tales has 53 of them is an astounding moment, because that's how different they are. And then Unbreakable Sphere. It has 29. However, the first one is a picture of the overworld. God damn it, it keeps doing that. I gotta reload it. I gotta reload the page every time I click on a new one. So Unbreakable Sphere is 29. The overworld, Gluttony. Here, I'll show it to you guys. Yeah, there we go. So this is the first one that we get. Well, the second one we get. First one we get is this. This is the first CG you get. Then this one. Then that. Then the same thing with that. Then that. Then a choke out scene. Then another choke out scene. Same choke out scene. The bubble scene, that's actually kind of cute. Then Siren standing there being beautiful. Siren being adorable as shit. Mihara for some reason. Mihara again. And again. Mori just standing there. Siren being adorable. Bubbles. Scene of Gluttony's throat. Okay. More Siren just standing there. Siren's eye. Siren being adorable. Siren consoling Mihara, or person. It's the same scene, slightly different. Then this scene. Just think of it this way. They don't even give freaking Little Mermaid the chance to actually have her encounter moment in a CG. Instead, it happens in the lore. Then we have this, which, again, what the fuck? Is this actually part of it? No, this is the event page. So technically, I don't count it as a CG, so that's 3. So technically 26 CGs for this, and it doesn't really tell a story. This doesn't tell a story whatsoever. It's just most of them standing around. Let's see about... Let's go back to Old Tales. Does it every time. So you have Old Tales. You know, start with a scene of Cinderella. You know, then the Goddess Squad shows up. You know, you feel a sense that there's an actual story being told just through these. See, we have all this. You have that. You know, you have a story being told through these cutscenes. Like, you know, it feels like it's actually being told just through these cutscenes. Old Tale. God, I gotta reload it again. Like again, it feels like there's a story here being told through these CGs. Look at that. Kilo actually has a moment. She's just not standing there. You have a picture of the fruit. You have, like, all these things being told. Like, you can see Crown actually being dejected. And then the reveal. Like, it feels earned. And then you have this event, and it doesn't feel like it's actually an event. You have 26 CGs. And most of them are just standing around. It honestly doesn't feel like they even tried with this story. And it sucks. It honestly sucks. To go from Old Tales to this feels like a disservice to the writers. It honestly feels like they didn't know what to do with this event. It honestly feels like they put an event that should have been later on into the half anniversary. And I'm gonna be honest, it feels like crap. Like, Mihara's whole inclusion in this event just feels like it was there just to add an overspec unit to the story. And none of her character development feels earned. Because while, yes, we've seen the character herself change over time, the Mihara we met years ago, you know, back when the story first started, doesn't exist. She got mind wiped. And then a new one came in. And then that one blew her brains out. And got mind wiped again. So this Mihara right here doesn't even know us. And the fact that Little Mermaid... Yeah. So much retcon. Exactly. It's a lot of retcon, basically. Because... basically what happened with this event is they try to shoehorn in all of the stuff. They tried to shoehorn Siren's Gap into Mudfish. They tried to shoehorn Siren's story into this little side story. We got Uni and Mihara's side story here. But the difference between their side story and this one is theirs actually connects to this event. Siren's is just she got eaten by gluttony because she was trying to help Leviathan. And this one was a connection to, you know, to the Last Kingdom with Modernia's upgrade and, you know, story. It literally felt like they were trying to do something for the half anniversary, but instead of properly doing the anniversary, they just shoehorned in the story. And I feel they were trying to do something that wasn't needed. They were honestly trying to do something that wasn't needed at all. That would have been good. Have the Mudfish event happen. Showcase, you know, Siren and Leviathan. Then having the end be her getting eaten. And then have us in the main scenario fight Gluttony. And then trigger the things that happened in this event. I would have been okay with that. Because you still would have gotten the same feel. You know, it's an event that happens in the past. It starts into the present. Bam. Starts with us in our time fighting Gluttony to do this. And then have everything happen. And then have an event with this. Would have been okay. But as the survey said, the commander wasn't involved. This entire event felt like we should have been there. Because again, for the bonding session, for the advise, for your character, for the advise, when you advise Little Mermaid, it is literally her talking to herself. There is no point to her advise whatsoever in this capacity. She is literally the most pointless advise next to Mihara, who is similar to her. Why even have her advise if the commander doesn't interact with her? That doesn't make any sense. Advising Red Hood on the opposite side is, yeah, like we actually have an advice section with fucking Red Hood, who we technically only meet for like a week or two. Like, it's fascinating the way they decided to do this stuff. Like, if you don't want the commander to be in your story, don't have a player character. Do what Honkai Impact 3rd did for the most part. Have that player character not really exist, but still be there. Like, the player character, you, the captain, never really appears in anything. You're never really there, but you're technically there. You feel like you're there in the original. I don't know about Part 2 in Honkai Impact. I don't play it anymore. But, you know, in the Part 1 up to the ending of Part 1, to the part with Kiana and them fighting Kevin, the captain is technically there through her adventure and journey, but you're never there, so they don't need to really write the captain in there. You're in there for side events and stuff like that, but it's still, you know, side events. This, you're the main character, and so far every anniversary the main character, us, hasn't interacted with anybody. We haven't been involved in any of these events. Overzone was the past. Made complete sense for us not to be there. Red Ash was the past. Made sense for us not to be there. Last Kingdom was nowhere near us. We weren't near that area. It was a completely different region where we did not know where they were. We do not know where Crown and Modernia are living right now. Makes sense for that to be there. Old Tales was the past, told through the experience of Cinderella, most likely, to us. To Grave. Or through, you know, Abe's journey or whatever. However you want to say it. Made sense for us not to be there. Unbreakable Sphere happens in the modern present time. Literally! At the same time!
While you're sitting there twiddling your
Unbreakable Sphere happens in the span of basically the same exact time frame. but we're not there. Instead, it's them trying to shoehorn in, and you can tell at the end of this how they worded it. Cinderella's going to try to go off and find Hansel and Gretel and not come back to us. They're trying to diverge what they've done so far. Because of one, Cinderella and Grave are powerful as shit. They're strong, which means that technically they can curb stomp most anything in the current story. Let's be honest. If it wasn't for Grave and Cinderella, our group would technically not have survived a lot of things. Currently. So they have to write them out of the story. Because you put somebody too powerful in it. The problem is, you're writing them out of the story in the weirdest way possible. Because you write them out of the story, but a couple of months later you have them pop back in the story to resolve something that you could have built up along the way. And then you're trying to write them out of the story continuously by having Cinderella say the one-off of finding Hansel and Gretel. And then somehow, mind you, somehow, and it's not revealed how, in any capacity, Little Mermaid already knows that they're heretics. Or not necessarily heretics, not on humanity's side. How does she know this? From our understanding, after they were attacked on the elevator, they got split up. From our understanding, what we know right now, Little Mermaid has been by herself for all these years since that attack. In what time frame did she learn about Hansel and Gretel, and why, until this very point in time, did she not mention it? And gave us an unstoppable team, then had to find a way to split them. Exactly. It is basically like putting the Justice League in there. Well, let me rephrase that as a better thing. It's like putting... It's like basically putting Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen into the story, and then you have to write him out of the story to have stakes. You put the ultimate object in a storyline, and then you have to write it out just so that there's conflict. That's what they've done. They've given us the first heretic, who, by a wide margin, is considerably stronger than most characters we've seen so far. Like, comparatively to what we've seen currently, outside of maybe one heretic, which hasn't been expanded on since she first appeared, when Nylister mentioned her and she appeared, we haven't really seen any other heretics. We've had Indivilia, who's defeated and was told to leave. We have another one that's like a jellyfish that hasn't appeared since that day. You have Nylister, who was defeated and is currently recovering or whatever. We have Behemoth, who's a heretic, apparently. Leviathan, who's said to be a heretic, but I don't feel Leviathan's actually a real heretic, honestly. I don't feel she is. Then you have the new one that appeared that I haven't heard anything about because I haven't played this story event currently. The new main story, so I don't know anything about her. And then you have another one who's said to be there, but we don't know anything about them. But again, it just feels like they've been trying to write a story and they've been trying to branch it off ever since. But we're just mainly talking about Unbreakable Sphere. Since I haven't done the main story right now, I can't very well say. But from what the event has told us, basically, is that they're trying to split up Cinderella and Grave from us to go do their own thing. So that they can use that as an excuse, by the way. They're using that as an excuse to do events. Let's be honest. It's not an excuse to build up characters at this point. It's an excuse so that they can write side content for events and stuff that doesn't happen in the main group. According to what somebody mentioned in their Discord server, I don't know, take this with a grain of salt because I may have misunderstood what they said, but according to what they said in a dev interview, Absolute and what happens to Matisse in the storyline, because I already know about it because somebody spoiled it for me, but it's not really spoiled because I don't like it, is that they aren't overspec. According to what I heard, Absolute and Matisse are not overspec units.
You're bound to lose money unless you get up.
From what I understand. But it still feels wrong to shoehorn Mihara's power up so close just to give it out. And again, with Anise, it does feel weird to give Mihara, this character who, let's be honest, this character who throughout the story hasn't done much, over a character like Anise or Neon or anybody else who's appeared multiple times. And you give it to this other character who has had less screen time than everybody else. It feels very weird in the grand scheme of things, because it doesn't make any sense from our standpoint. From what we know as players, jargoning in the upgrade to Mihara for the story
While you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs,
felt
prices are rising
so
and shares are
forced
fluctuating.
and out of nowhere
Unless you get up and do
that
something.
Jian just like, oh, I've been trying to do that for years. Oh, you survived and did exactly what I needed you to do. Over while Rappy was fighting, trying to not, do this and that with Red Hood's core until she finally accepted it, and then they fused and became what she is now. Instead we have Mihara, who's just like, I really want to protect Uni to the power of Yuri. That's what it was. Let's be honest, it's the entire reason that she got a power up. As somebody who's an aspiring writer, it hurts seeing this happen because it feels like it could have been prevented.
While you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, prices are rising and shares are fluctuating. You're bound to lose money unless you get up and do something.
By the power of a choking enjoyment, I power up. Yeah, that's... that emote, that's an adorable emote. But yeah, it just felt like, and I think I mentioned it. It felt like they were introducing Mihara as an overspec just to have an overspec unit. Like, it felt like they were trying to put her in here just because they wanted an overspec unit. Like, her involvement, like, I already thought she was overspec because of the whole new form that she got, but no. Apparently, overspecs are 2 core Nikkes. That's what it sounds like. Because Rappy's an overspec and she's a fused 2 core. And Mihara is an overspec and she has 2 cores that are fused. The problem being with Mihara's overspec is hers is fused with a Rapture core. Versus Red Hood and Rappy, which is fused with 2 Nikke cores. One being technically somebody who was on the verge of becoming a heretic. Or a core that was corrupted. So this doesn't make much sense at all from like an actual standpoint, because currently, with what we know of Mihara, is that there is no drawback whatsoever to what she just did. Outside of the flashing warnings that yada yada yada, and then the deep thing appearing, which is... Yeah, and that's one of the things that really irritates me, is because they're trying to do something... Sorry, I gotta wipe off my face. It's getting hot in my room. This chair is not helping. But it feels like they're trying to do something, and it just really feels weird. Like it feels like they're trying to feed us content, but they're doing it in the slowest way possible. And they're doing it in the worst way possible. Because you have Mihara just get an upgrade with very minimal build-up to it. Like, if there had been talk about, you know, GN trying to experiment with raptures and stuff, and, you know, fusing cores, any time before this, I would have been like, okay, that, she mentioned it before, it's understandable. But no, it's just, all of a sudden she was mentioning it once, and now we have this. What are you talking about? We're gonna do 110 pull because I feel like it. There we go. I feel better now. But honestly, if I give a rating for the event, I'm honestly going to give it a 6 out of 10. It's slightly better than mediocre, but it could have just been so much better. It really feels like the writers are trying to tell us something, but they're trying to splinter themselves so much that it honestly just hurts. Six bubbles out of meh. Yeah. Because as somebody's mentioned in the Discord server, I'm in their Discord server, so I look over some of the feedback that they've mentioned in the server. And a lot of it's valid feedback. How it's talking about how some of this stuff just doesn't make any sense. Like, I talk about one of these is talking about how the event feels completely worthless. Like, it just feels like it doesn't make any sense. It's just ending the event with they're not on our side. Felt hollow. It felt very hollow compared to what we had been handed before. There wasn't any... They should have stuck to a past event. This should have been in the past. They honestly should have done something different than the Siren event. I can only hope that this doesn't try to be a trend or we don't get involved in the anniversaries anymore. It's starting to really border on annoying. When you keep writing the commander out of the anniversaries. Like, he's in all these random events that don't make any sense. Let's be honest. A lot of these random events that we get are just, my day off. Oh no. Here's another Nikke to ask me to do something that I don't know. Now, granted, some of these events have done world building, and I don't have a problem with that. But as, again, somebody else mentioned in the Discord server, we have a lot of Chekhov's guns. We have a lot of weapons ready to be fired, but nothing's going on. They're just there. They're all just ready at attention, holding the gun, ready to fire, but nothing. Like, currently what we have Hammerin's head being kept in a container with a Drilly guarding her from the crystals. We have Livrin being told to steal Hammerin's head. We have Liverent's sister, whatever happened to her. We have Anissa's storyline. We have the current main story event stuff happening. We have Dorothy, whatever is going through Dorothy, whatever she's involved in planning with, which kind of relates to the main story a bit, but it's still something separate. You have Nihilister, whatever she's planning to do. You have Crown, Modernia, and all of them. We haven't had any resolution in that. We haven't had any resolution on what's going on with Modernia. Since Last Kingdom, by the way. We have a lot of stuff that hasn't been answered. We have the Deep storyline with, you know, the revelation of Deep and the 2 arc cores and all that stuff. Like, we have a lot of stuff, but not really any answer. And we keep getting more questions and very few answers. Which I was okay with originally, because it really felt like they were trying to finish it. But now it doesn't feel like they're trying to finish or answer any of these questions. Like, we have the whole thing, but now we're so focused on the 4 beasts that it feels like we don't remember that we're trying to save Hammering. We're trying to save this person who sacrificed themselves for us. Rosanna getting ready for revenge on 6-0. Did I miss something about that? Because I haven't heard of 6-0 until the main story. Did he appear in, I'm guessing, her event that she had when she was introduced? My face hurts. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that really hurts from a story perspective. That really, really hurts. Okay. Because I'm really looking forward to stuff, and then there's just a lot of stuff that I'm a little disappointed in. I can only hope that the writing will get better. And I'm going to be honest, if I feel the writing isn't getting better and it stagnates, I will have to drop the game. And I don't want to, because I like talking about it. It's a game that I love. It's got character designs that I love. It's got one very specific character design that I love.
Do you think I would only want to do business with you? I'm interested in other things as well.
And I don't want to give it up, because I've enjoyed it. I have enjoyed the writing on this game since the very beginning. I quit for a time because I just didn't do anything. But I came back because of her bikini. And then since I've dived into the game, I've enjoyed the storyline. I've enjoyed the writing. But after this event, honestly, after part 1 of Unbreakable Sphere, I was agitated. Like, I was agitated that this whole event for Siren, Little Mermaid, and we get this whiny character that we're supposed to somehow relate to, who still didn't do anything. She didn't fight. She didn't stand up for herself. She got comforted by Siren and then was like, oh, I gotta save her. At least with Kilo, it felt needed. At least with Kilo, it felt like it mattered. At least with Dorothy's trauma, you know, Pine had a reason. With Red Ash and Snow White and them, there was a build-up to this. That you see this stuff happen. Like, all of the events up to this have felt like there were points to the story that made it. That it didn't feel like it was just a long, drawn-out, odd-placed vacation. And I do hope that they get back on track. Because it feels right now that they're trying to do so many things, and hopefully they finally realize that we're doing it wrong. You have plenty of time to do events in the past. The problem is they're introducing so many pilgrims nowadays that it's harder to take anything seriously. When each pilgrim that gets introduced is stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. It becomes a power scaling issue. And that's currently where we're at. We have Cinderella, who's so strong right now because there's no one else that really does the same thing she does. You had her get beaten in Red Ash because you had Red Hood actually go all out along with the Goddess Squad. But that was a team up of like very skilled players taking on and beating her. And we haven't had that yet. The Four Beasts were made to be something really big, and they were until Cinderella was introduced, which was an amazing event. Having her wake up and almost become Anichiro again, and then Grave bringing her back to her senses, was a perfect moment. I love that. The stuff with Leviathan has been interesting, but then you have other stuff happen that just feels weird. All in all, it's a lot of back and forth, like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Like they're making progress, but then they backtrack on some of it. Now, I'd like to continue talking, but I've pretty much said what I feel. It was a decent event, filled with a lot of misplaced plot, a lot of pacing issues, and a lot of shenanigans that just came out of nowhere for resolutions. And I honestly don't think I want to keep repeating that, because that's not fun for anybody. I've said what I wanted to say. The event was decent. Could have been a lot better. If you were unhappy with the event and play Nikke, please go to the survey. Tell them how you felt about this event. Don't be cynical and just say I didn't like it. Give some thought. Give a little bit of thought. They need to understand that their players aren't happy. And this is one of those moments where you need to vote with your wallet too. Don't spend money on these characters if you didn't like it. Spend the money on the character you like. Go for it. Be fine. But really think about it when you look at it, because currently, for those of you who don't know, a lot of other gachas are going through some bullshit right now. A lot of other gachas are testing their community, and believe me, they're reeling. For those of you who don't follow a lot of other gachas, Victory Nikke, that open world cozy game, the dress up game, has shit all over their fan base and has doubled and tripled down on the we can do what we want type scenario. Then you have apparently Black Beacon literally giving more stuff to Chinese players and ignoring global, from what I understand. I haven't kept up with that. Then there was another game that recently did something. I don't know. I just saw a headline that somebody posted. You have gacha games starting to do some stuff that is the old practices that they did. Very sketchy old practices. Victory Nikke is the newest one to do it, where they not only increased the amount of items that you need for the gacha. In Victory Nikke, you collect dress parts to dress up your character. You need, normally I think it was 9 or 10 items for the full outfit. Now they increase it to 11. They introduced a housing thing, and there is no housing in the game currently. And they did the sketchy bullshit thing where it's been marked down, quotations, to like $5 from like $50. That's illegal. They've made it illegal to not do that. Now, there's a bunch of stuff going on in the gacha space that hopefully finally kicks people into realizing gacha companies don't care about you. They just want your money. Same for Nikke, or Nikke. I love Nikke. It's fun. But the moment the game starts trying to make me pay for shit to enjoy it, is the moment I drop the game. If the story's good, it's fine. If the moment they throw in more gacha costumes like they did recently, because I'll be honest, let's go look at the gacha outfits. So here we have sirens. Which the CG looks beautiful. But I don't feel it's worth it. See? And you have the back shot, and then you have the close-up, which is what people are pissed about. Let's go to Little Mermaid.
I feel like I've become one with the bubbles.
Yeah, I honestly don't feel that this outfit is worth it. Because it really doesn't feel any different than her normal outfit. Then we have Cinderella, whose outfit really does feel different. Oh, wait. I meant to click on more things. Because here's her base outfit. Base stance. Cinderella just showing off those cheeks. Then you have that outfit. Like, everything feels different. But still feels in line. Let us look at Crown. Crown. Literal god status right here. I mean, look at this. Halos, hands coming out. Cloak of majestic awesomeness. Then you have default Crown. You know?
Wherever you are, do not forget that you are a subject of this kingdom. You think my clothes are quite blinding. That is because you are seeing your own light spilling forth from within.
And if we compare the other one. Same thing, that you feel like a sense like the outfit feels worth it. Like it doesn't really feel worth it for the other characters.
I think these changes in my body have made me more sensitive.
Like, it feels like BDSM, but this outfit already felt like that. It feels the exact same. Yeah, I don't get it. How is it the default outfits feel like they're sexier than the newer outfits? Let's see, what other outfits were there for characters that changed things? Like, this one was an outfit that was a gacha outfit.
Oh boy. I'm as prepared as I'll ever be. But I'm still nervous at the thought of having a concert.
Like, it feels different compared to the original noise. It doesn't feel worth it, mind you, but it's still, you know. And we have Dorothy's.
We've really come a long way, haven't we?
Which has that effect. This right here. This was worth it. I didn't get it because I didn't have the money at the time. But this is worth it. Look how fucked up it is.
Days never gets old. We've really come a long way, haven't we?
Like, look at this. This is a gacha outfit worth it.
Even today's meeting will one day become a treasured memory.
Like, even, like, you know, battle pose. Sexy booty cheeks jiggling in the air. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. What other outfits were there? Mihara's, that doesn't really feel like it. You have Naga's, it feels like again.
What are you going to do after the festival? If you don't have any plans, would you like to hang out a little longer with me?
Like, it felt like it was worth it. But some of these other outfits just, like, these new outfits don't feel worth it. It just feels, again, like they took a couple of steps forward and then a bunch of steps backwards. Oh, did I have a benefit? Oh, I did. And then this! This was bullshit, by the way. Rewarding you for spending money. Yes, you could have pulled. You could pull and get all this if you save up. But let's be honest. Free-to-play people aren't going to have that much. You're not going to have enough to do all of this. You're not going to have enough to do all of these. And all of these. Because both Siren and Mihara have one. Granted, you know, if you save up for months or a year, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You're able to do that. That's good for you. Most common players aren't going to do that, honestly. It feels like they're trying to monetize the game even heavier than it already is. Because if you remember from 3.0 or 2.0 when Old Tales hit, we got handed a ton of free pulls. Yeah, saving it for months and you still can't even get most of the rewards. Because it's not just, it's 40 pulls each time. Not 40 pulls total. Each reward is 40 pulls. Each reward is 40 pulls. Because if it was really 40 pulls for, you know, all of them, why do I not have all the way up to level 8? Yeah, and then Mihara has her own, which is exactly the same. 40 pulls. 40 pulls. And the last one is 100. You not only have to pull 40, but you then have to pull 70. And 70. And 80. And 80. And then 100. That is a shit ton of pulls. And you're giving me what? Pull 70 times to get 10? Pull 70 times and I get 10 back? That is horrible. A lot of, like, whales are. Whales. The whole point is for whales. This is to incentivize people to spend money. I don't have a problem with people spending money on a game. It's your money. You do what you want with it. But when they're outright telling you, please spend your money on our game, we'll give you this stuff, it is not a good sign. It's a sign of greed. If this was pull 10 times, get this. Pull 10 more times, get this. Pull another 10, you can get this. Like if each time you did 10 pulls and it went up and you got a reward for those 10 pulls, great. I'd be happy with that. Would still be terrible. Would be 100 times better than this. This is awful. Exactly. The only time I go to the cash shop, the only time I ever go to the cash shop is to look at it and go, I ain't spending that money. Get this stuff, the free stuff for the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. That's all I do, and then I leave. I don't do it because, one, spending money on this game with no guarantee for the money you get is dumb. One of the main reasons why I don't spend money on most games. Because I'm not guaranteed to get the character in X number of pulls. And you don't get enough pulls in general for the money you spend. Well, let's check the cash shop real quick. Let's see how many pulls we get from this package right here. It's 8,000 free gems, which can only be used in the only used in banners. So 8,000 gems. 3,000 gems for a 10 pull. So you can do two 10 pulls with just that. Plus you get another 10 things for that. So that's 1,500. That's another 3,000. So that's 3 pulls. That's 3 pulls that you can do on the special banner. Was it about $1 per pull? Something like that. Something about that. And then you have 20 special pull, 20 standard pulls. So you get 30 special pulls and then 20 standard. Granted, you get a bunch of other stuff, but that's still not worth it. You're spending $100 for maybe a level up or 2 for your favorite item, some skill stuff, and 4 crystals. It's not worth it. The step up packages, $5 for 10 pulls. That's literally not worth it. 100 gems after you purchase that. Okay, so the 100 gems you just get every time. It's not worth it. $20, you get 30 pulls. Actually, you get... I think you get half up. I think you get 1.5. I think you get 15 pulls. Again, it's not worth it for any of these. These are specific for characters. It's the exact same thing. The only difference is you just get 30 pulls. So you get 50 pulls again. Just pure thing. It's not worth it. Gacha games are not worth it for spending your money on. But again, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. You earn your money your way. You spend it your way. Just really think when you do. Because as I've learned, spending money on a game that you had fun with doesn't always mean it's going to be fun near the end. I regret spending money on Genshin Impact. I regret spending money on Honkai Star Rail. Those games were fun, and then I'm like, this game is shit. Why am I playing this game anymore? Zenless was the same way. I was about to spend money. I didn't. Well, I did. I spent money on the passes. That's about it. I didn't spend anything more than that. And it was only like 2 or 3 passes out of the entire time I played. I've spent total on this game less than $700 since the day I started playing. Most of that money came from me buying the packs early on, thinking I could get a character, realizing that there was no guaranteed pity. Instead, you get the tickets, which granted can be used whenever you want. But I'm not going to get into all that because we're not here for that. We're here to talk about titties. We're here to talk about titties. And Jan's beautiful things are what drive me to motivate me. The one day she gets a new outfit and or a new SSR from a seasonal event. When the day that happens, I will play the game again or continue to play it if I have been. Either way. But I think we're going to go ahead and end it here today because I've been talking a lot. I think I've been talking for over an hour and a half on basically just my thoughts, which I don't have a problem with. However, it is very hot in my room right now. I am sweating. This chair does not have good air pull. This chair is not very circulated. If you guys want me to keep talking, I can. But I don't know what else to talk about. I don't mind going for a little longer. Like, I honestly don't mind. Or unless you're just trying to be horny. I'm bad at conversations. You're not bad. It's just hard to talk when the streamer's talking, and then the delay that you guys get versus when I speak. It does get pretty difficult. But also, if you would like to, you can support me over on YouTube. I released a new video of me playing Slay the Princess. For those who are interested and would like to see me slay the princess. You're free to go look at it. I also have Me-Side up there as well. Me-Side and Slay the Princess. I also have Garden of Banban, where I did not chicken out at the end. Or not Garden of Banban. Poppy Playtime. Yeah, Poppy Playtime. Garden of Banban will be next week. I'm trying to get all the videos that I've had issues with out first. Me-Side Episode 1, the video quality wasn't the greatest. Me-Side Episode 2, the video quality was slightly better. Slay the Princess is when all the issues first started for me in Kerbo. Because he was having such a hard time with it, and he was doing it by himself, that he didn't tell me that he was having an issue where, for some reason, the video would just give a media error every couple of frames. So I finally talked with him and like, hey man, what's going on? And we finally figured it out, and he told me what happened. We finally figured it out, figured what to do. So we fixed that finally. And then episode 2 for Slay the Princess, for those who haven't seen it, unfortunately was my fault. Most of these parts are my fault. The video quality for Me-Side was my fault because I didn't realize that I was recording at such a shitty resolution. Or a shitty bitrate. I tried checking it with episode 2. Episode 3 is when it'll get better. Slay the Princess 1 was the video error problems. Episode 2 was the audio issue that I did not realize until halfway through it, and I realized my microphone audio was low. Because for some reason at that point in time, whenever I did recordings, my Wave XLR would reset to default, which was the lowest possible setting.
You're bound to lose money unless you get up and do something.
I already showered. I'm just sitting in a leather chair, no, not leather, pleather, whatever kind of chair, instead of my other chair that has the frickin' nylon back that breathes, because I forgot to switch my chair. But and then Garten of Banban 1 has some issues as well with the video quality, I think. Because again, I recorded without realizing that I didn't have the right bitrate, which is because I was stupid and thought, oh, I just recorded. Everything's done on my end. I don't need to check the video to make sure it's good. Which I now actually do. Whenever I'm done with a recording session, I check the video to make sure the bitrate's good and make sure my audio's coming through. So far, we haven't had any issues.
Prices are rising and shares are fluctuating. You're bound to lose money unless you get
And we got a couple more videos to get through before we get rid of all the ones that have had the most issue, which I'm trying to work with Kerbo, but he's going through some stuff. Nothing bad, just daily life stuff that drains you. But we're working through it. And we are getting so close, steps closer to Goblin Kitsune, which is taking longer than I want it to. Honestly, it's taking longer than I want it to. I'm still waiting for the work to start on the model, which, according to Mama Yasha, probably will be July. Which sucks, because I was hoping to get it before then, but I can't be upset with her. She's going through stuff just as well. So, I'm frustrated only because I want to use it, but it's not there and ready yet, so I can't be frustrated. I am getting excited. I asked if she'd be okay with the new outfit being added. And I told her, you know, did you want me to wait? Because I've already, you know, I already sent her and said, hey, this is what I want. This is it. And then I was like, hey, could we add another outfit? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, did you want me to... Are you okay with it now? Or did you want me to wait until you open your comms back up? Did you want me to pay for it? She hasn't responded back, so... I'm very confused if she's okay with doing it now when she starts work on it in July. Or if she wants to wait. Does she want me to pay for it? Because of the whole thing we've been through. I just need to know so I can make sure I pay her. Because I feel like I'm taking advantage of her. And I hate that feeling. But, yes, soon. I'm still working on getting a bunch of other stuff done. I still need to get the overlays and stuff done. The new overlays. I'm just waiting for the artist to work. They're slowly working on everything. So I'm not frustrated there. So they sent me an update about last week for the for that. I've got most of the emotes completed. I think I just need 5 more emotes and then I'm done with all the emotes. You guys will love them because they're adorable. All new emotes that will be used. New overlays. I do need to get a new stinger, but I found someone that I like for the stinger that looks really cute and adorable. So I found that. So we're working on slowly getting everything ready for when it happens. Of course, the big thing that's been paid for already is the model. It's been paid for. Just waiting for Mama Yasha to go through her queue. Her commissions queue to get to me. Of course, everything else in the background. Trying to make sure I pay Kerbo for the videos that he's done. Because I like to make sure people get paid. Because I know how it sucks to not get paid. pain. Not the kind of pain from Naruto, just pain in general. But, in short, slowly moving along, slowly getting there. I'm slowly commissioning some stuff for future points. I don't know why I thought I said something different. But I'm slowly getting there, slowly preparing.
While you're sitting there twiddling
I know we got
your
time
thumbs, horizon and
to get
shares
everything
are
ready.
fluctuating. You're bound to lose money.
I know it's not going to be perfect when it happens. Because it's a me stream. But we're going to have fun. When it does. If it starts in July, I want to say maybe... If Mama Yasha starts it early July, maybe at the end of July is when I'd get it. But I'm thinking June, July, August. I'm thinking sometime in August. Probably late August is when she'd finish it. Depending on how long it takes her to do this stuff. Because I asked for quite a bit of stuff. But we agreed.
You're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, processing
Didn't I ask for more
horizon and
stuff?
shares are fluctuating. You're bound to lose money unless
I
you
keep
get
telling her
it.
I'd pay for it. I don't want to feel like I'm taking advantage of her. I don't ever want to feel like I'm taking advantage of somebody. If for doing the extra work, I feel like they should get paid for it. But so maybe sometime mid-August is when she'll be done with it. And then I can start, testing it to make sure everything's right for my end. Because just because she's done doesn't mean everything's going to be good. There could be issues that come up. That also gives me more time to prepare on my end as well. Because I'm trying to save up some money for some equipment to use for streams.
While you're
And all these other expenses kept happening.
horizon and shares are fluctuating.
I had to
Lose money unless you
upgrade
get
one of the
it.
programs I use, and that costed money. So I can use the model in the future, because we thought we could just use it in the normal thing, but no, that didn't work. So, either way, tomorrow, for those interested, tomorrow for those interested, we will be returning for D&D. Tyranny of Dragons will continue tomorrow at 10 a.m. or around 10 a.m. to get us all up and running for the session. Everybody should be there. Kara, Yasha, Mei Mei, and Crimson. We should all be ready. Not exactly at 10 o'clock, but we will be returning for D&D. As I, the DM, try to kill all the players.
While you're sitting there twiddling your
Like any
thumbs,
true DM tries to do. I'm just
and
kidding.
shares are
No, we're gonna have fun. I'm looking forward to picking up the DM again.
do something.
To getting back to D&D. Because I have missed it. I have been having a lot of fun doing that. And just generally hanging out with them. It's been a blast. And getting to see how they act with their characters is always fun. But we'll be back tomorrow. Unless, barring anything, we'll be back tomorrow. And I don't know what else to talk about. Because the adrenaline's starting to wear from me. Just really hoping Nikke picks it back up. Because they dropped the ball hard for this event. They really did. Like, everything about this event has just been terrible. But we've already talked about that. I'm tired.
While you're
I'm being
sitting
called
there
stinky.
twiddling your thumbs, prices are rising and shares are
Not stinky, it's just a
fluctuating.
literal
You're bound to
sauna
lose
in this
money
room.
unless you get up and do something.
I have my PC turned on. The only thing I have on this room is my PC and my 3 monitors, my webcam phone, iPhone, and an LED light. And it feels like death in here. It doesn't help that it's summer, so it's literal death. winter felt nice. Winter was good. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I know it's a little bit of a shorter stream today. Hard mode gameplays are usually the hardest part for me because I don't know what else to do. And I really wanted to just talk about the event in general and how I felt. Because honestly, it was a pretty mid event. It was mid. It didn't feel all that hyped and epic as the last couple of events. And again, they all can't be bangers. I don't expect every event to be Old Tales or Last Kingdom, Red Ash, or Overzone levels of awesome. It's weird that it's happened 4 times and it was good, and the 5th one sucked, but, you know, I'm just saying. Usually 3rd time's the charm, right? But either way, thank you guys for hanging out with me again. Thank you for joining me on this journey as we played Nikke. And as always, make love, not waffles. I'll see you guys tomorrow for those who drop by. We'll be back with Saturday with more Nikke. But tomorrow, D&D, enjoy it, worship it, suck it, lick it, bop it, top it, slop it. Other phrases that Bop It would use. Bye-bye, everybody.
Twiddling your thumbs, prices are rising and shares are fluctuating. You're bound to lose money unless you get up and do something.